I think it's the job of the compliance officer to understand the different functions in the business and engage with different people in different teams, for example, the investment team, the marketing team, and it's important to help them understand how compliance fits in with their current business role. And so I think it starts with the compliance officer, and then it starts with a culture of everyone understanding that there's a compliance element to what they're working on day to day. There has to be an understanding that some compliance rules apply to the whole firm. So you can have like thresholds, for example, for gifts and entertainment that will apply to the whole firm. You send that message across to the entire firm. If it's specific business functions, the compliance officer needs to have a good understanding of what those functions are, and you need to be able to relate to them in a very direct way, a very simplified way, what things they need to look out for. So for example, we have a marketing team, they prepare marketing decks. There's inevitably compliance things that they need to be aware of and work on. But they need to be very clued up about those from their side as well as my side. So people in different departments, like the marketing team, as I've mentioned, will come to me and talk to me about what they're working on, ask me if there's compliance aspects in place or that need to be adhered to, and they'll do it. So it's really just that merging, I think, of compliance and the different functions and not treating compliance as if it sits in a separate office, completely separate to everything else in a siloed way. I think oversight and operational execution, you will always need human beings. You will need compliance officers and well-trained staff. I think where AI is going to help is that it's going to provide a quicker, more efficient way to get very useful data. So I think the models that we're looking at these days, I've seen it in the legal side as well, it's not just going to be about recording or meeting deadlines. The models that I'm seeing are going to actually help preempt misconduct, breaches of regulations, and I think all of that is going to be very helpful, but I think there's always going to need to be this quality control from an actual human, and that's also required because if you're talking to the FCA or the SEC or a regulator, you do need a human being to interact with them and understand what they're doing, understand the business. So I don't see the technology completely eliminating staff necessarily, but I think it will help them be more efficient. I think it's important that the senior management understands the importance of compliance, but I think there needs to be this, or maybe there is this shift already of seeing compliance not as a function on its own, but you have to have a successful compliance function for your business to be successful. It may not adjust your profit margins, but it's going to make sure that you're compliant enough so that investors, for example, in our case, can trust you, so that you're adhering to things which are ultimately good, whether it's for retail and customers or investors or whoever your customer base is as a business. So yeah, I think that's my answer to that. I think it's important for everyone to have networks where they can talk to people that are in a very similar field and even just bounce ideas off, brainstorm with them about difficulties they're facing. So Hivemind is focused on digital assets. It's a very nuanced grey area in some ways. There isn't strict regulatory rules in terms of compliance. And so it's just nice, I think, to meet others in the sector, even if it's outside of niche areas like digital assets. I think meeting others that have similar challenges, talking them through, understanding how they dealt with it in their organization is very helpful. And then the seminars, etc., are also very informative as well. So I think, because usually all the topics are very in line with what people are usually thinking about, I think, day to day. And AI has come up in probably every single seminar today. It's a very hot topic. So I think just being aware of those topics and the networking opportunity is good.